Back in 2021, when I decided to become an accountant, I wish someone would have sat me down and told me exactly what I'm about to tell you in this video. If you're an accounting student at college or university, or even just thinking of pursuing a career in accounting, this is exactly what you need to know to give yourself the absolute best chance and best opportunity to secure an accounting role and future-proof your career. If you're new to the channel, my name's Callum. I'm a chartered accountant here in London, UK, and I made this YouTube channel to help accountants and aspiring accountants future-proof their career, stay on top of the profession, and stand out from the crowd when it comes to accounting. If that sounds interesting at all, then don't forget to subscribe and we'll dive right in. Now, my first point is about choosing the right qualification for you. When I got my start in accounting, I didn't realize how many different accounting qualifications there were available to me. In the UK, there's the ACA, there's the ACCA if you want to go down the charter route, or there's things like CIMA if you want to go down the management accounting route, the CTA or the ATT if you're interested in tax, all covering different areas of accounting and appealing to different specialisms. The ACA, obviously being what I did, is the main chartered accounting qualification here in the UK. It's a bit like the CPA is to America, and it's what most people in public accounting, such as audit and advisory work, tend to do. The ACCA is pretty similar, but is a bit more global. And CIMA is typically done by those in industry, so people working in business when it comes to management accounting. So I'd really think about what area it is that interests you and whatever it is you want to go down before picking a qualification, because each one is tailored to a different area of accounting. So don't just follow the crowd when it comes to picking a qualification. Choose the one that suits your career best and the one which you are most interested in. And now this leads nicely onto my next point, which is about choosing the right industry and accounting specialism for you. Now, accounting is no longer a static profession, and there's so many different specialisms when it comes to being an accountant. Things like audit, tax, advisory, even ESG, and nowadays you've got data analytics and data scientists, which is very much combining into the accounting world. And not only this, but the beauty of accounting is that pretty much every industry and every business needs an accountant or a finance team. So whether you're interested in health, fintech, fashion, retail, there's probably a job for you out there as an accountant. So as an accounting student, just have a think about the area that you're most interested in and the path that you want to go down. A great piece of advice I've had from a few mentors of mine is that the riches are in the niches, and those that specialize tend to earn more money and find more fulfillment across their career. I've noticed that the world does tend to reward specialists more than generalists, so keep that in mind when choosing a specialism or industry to pursue in accounting. But just remember, just because you pick one doesn't mean you can't try out others, doesn't mean you can't change. You're never stuck to one area. Now, my third tip is all about actually understanding the concepts rather than just memorizing them. Now, there's a huge difference between actually understanding a concept and how it applies to a financial statement, as opposed to just memorizing the definition. Ultimately, the accounting qualifications are there to assist you in your day job as an accountant. So rather than just trying to memorize the concepts to pass a test, really try and understand them and see how they apply to your day-to-day work. That way, no scenario, whether it's in the exam or in the real world, is going to throw you off. There's clear definitions for things like prepayments, accruals, deferred tax, impairment, but being able to spot them in a financial statement and in the real world for a client is where the value lies. And if you can do that in the real world, then I have no doubt that you'll be able to recognize it in an exam and get the right concepts across when it comes to passing a test. So when you're sitting the exams and when you're preparing for the exams, think about how you can apply these concepts into the real world to benefit your career and your job. That way you know you fully understand the topic. Now, this leads nicely on to my next point, which is all about understanding how financial statements work early on. Ultimately, the accounting work you do in your exams and in your preparations forms the building blocks for whether you are preparing a set of financial statements or auditing a set of financial statements, and ensuring they're both true and fair. So with that, it would make sense to get your head around the financial statements, like the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, as early as you can. Know how a general ledger forms a trial balance, which forms an income statement and balance sheet. Understand the concepts of materiality and how the financial statements show a true and fair picture of a company as opposed to a 100% accurate view of a company. Get your head around the judgmental areas that can be manipulated by management to show a better performance of a company. All these key areas are going to help you in both the real world when you're doing this work on behalf of a client and also in preparing for your exams when it comes to spotting patterns, spotting mistakes, and getting a solid answer down. Tying in from point 2, it's really about seeing how this theory applies to the real world. Now, my fifth and final point is to really get clear about data analytics, Excel, and artificial intelligence, because this seems to be where the accounting profession is going. Regardless of which niche or which specialism you decide to go down in accounting, you're going to spend the majority of your days looking at data, most likely in Excel. So it's no surprise that the accounting qualifications are putting much greater emphasis on Excel and data analytics skills nowadays. Get comfortable with variance analysis in Excel, with pivot tables, with lookups, and various different formulas, because that's what I tend to be doing most of my days. And most likely, if you get involved in accounting, it's what you'll be doing too. There's also an increasing shift towards data visualization and business intelligence tools like Power BI, which turn raw data into dashboards and reports. Primarily, this is done in the industry roles, so working within an actual business, but I can really see accounting firms and public practices beginning to offer this as a service like virtual CFO services. So getting your head around these concepts and really understanding how they work is going to help you so much in either securing a role or just future-proofing your career as an accountant in general. So I'd say dabble your feet in these tools, experiment, download them, and just understand how they work, because it's going to add another string to your bow as an accountant and give you something more to talk about, give you that little bit more of an edge when it comes to applying to a role or providing more value to a client. So there we have it, 5 quick-fire pieces of advice for accounting students in 2025 and beyond. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.